G'day guys, welcome to Ask Woodford, episode 19. We're on the casting couch right now. We're in a new location today. I thought I'd welcome my special guest, Paralympic gold medalist in wheelchair tennis, ranked in the singles currently five and the doubles five in the world. Heath Davidson. Heath, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Christian. How are you, mate?
Very good, I'm very good. So, we got any questions today? Who wants to go?
Do you want to intro,
Yes.
career?
Well, okay, yeah, Heath. So, hey, good point, actually. Very nice. That's why I've got you behind the camera and I'm here. So, Heath, do you want to explain to all the people a little bit about your background, how you started in tennis? Because I know you started as a junior, you stopped for a while, and then you've come back and you've gone on to do some terrific things and you're building momentum. Explain to all the viewers out there, if they don't know who you are, your background.
Yeah, sweet. So as Christian said, I started tennis when I was a junior. I was about 14, really chubby, in a wheelchair, just wanted to do something for fitness and try and lose the puppy fat that I had. And found tennis, started playing tennis just a couple of days a week. Ended up being slightly good at it, represented Australia for a few years as a junior, and then when I turned 18, I took 10 years off, just wanted to be an adult, have fun, do all the things that everyone does, and live the dream a little bit. And then 10 years later I decided to pick up a tennis racket again, and I guess the rest speaks for itself. I 2.5 years into my tennis career, I am ranked 5 in the world in the quad division. I've won a gold medal in the doubles at the Rio Paralympics, and a lot of it's thanks to this ugly bloke.
It's really nice. Now, when you came on the show, I said, don't rag on me, but it's already happened already. Thanks. I'm the face of a few companies, and I think I'm very good looking, but I do appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Talk it up, mate. Talk it up.
So, obviously, 2.5 years into this journey again, you've done quite well. Where do you see yourself going in the next, so let's say we're 2.5 years in now, let's say another 2.5 brings you to 5 years. Where do you think you'll be after 5 years, if you think you've gone this far after 2.5 years?
I mean, the goal is obviously to end up making it to Tokyo.
Yep.
Which I'm hoping, and at this point in time, it's looking pretty promising. I won the gold medal in the doubles in Rio. I would like to win the gold medals in the singles in Tokyo, and then win another one in the doubles, so I can go for the double.
Yep.
And obviously, the big one is playing in the Grand Slams, winning the Grand Slams, getting my ranking up to number 1 in the world would probably be a pretty decent achievement. And
What Grand Slams do they have for quads at the moment? They've got Australian Open, US Open.
Yeah, and at the moment they're trying to work on Wimbledon and Roland Garros. So
French and
French in Wimbledon, but at this point in time we're not in them.
So you're in 2 out of 4 though.
Yes,
Which is pretty good though if you think about it.
that's not bad. It's what we all play for. So.
Yeah. So, but they think in the next few years there will be French and Wimbledon. Those Grand Slams, you'll be able to play them.
Yeah, well, I guess they sort of have to now. The division's now getting a lot of momentum, and the tennis quality is getting a lot better. So, I guess they're still living in the dark ages a little bit. So
yeah, a little bit. What are they? Explain for everyone. When you say quad, I mean it's something I didn't understand, but you explained to me. What is the difference between there's quad and what was the other one? There's the division
wheelchair tennis. So you've got wheelchair tennis essentially, which is just somebody that can't play tennis standing up.
Yeah.
And then you've got a quad division, which means you have to have a problem with 3 limbs or more. So for me, I'm in the quad draw because obviously I can't move my legs, I don't have any core, and I can't move my wrist, and I've got limited shoulder movement.
Yeah.
So that gives me the 3 limbs. And you've obviously got to go through a whole classification process, which is pretty heavy, and they do the classification, and then if you get in, you get in. So
well. And so that's when you say quad, that's the division you're in. So there's the wheelchair tennis, and you were telling me some of the guys in the wheelchair tennis circuit are really, really good, you were saying.
Oh mate, they are phenomenal. If anyone is in Melbourne around the Aussie Open next year, second week wheelchair start, come down, have a look, it's pretty incredible.
What do they play at Roland Garros or Wimbledon as well? Not at all. The wheelchair.
Yes, no. So the normal wheelchair tennis or the main draw.
Well, they do.
They have all 4.
Oh, they have all 4.
Yeah, they have all 4.
So why the hell don't you? Surely it's got to come now.
I mean, yeah, hopefully, but I guess grass is probably the main one for Wimbledon. For us, it's just a bit hard because a lot of us aren't as mobile as the main draw guys. So playing on grass, everything's a bit quicker, and I think it'd be just a little bit of a serve return stuff. But I mean, you've got guys like me, Dylan Alcott, Lucas Sidhole, Andy Lapthorne, who are all fairly fit and taking the division to the next level. I think we would do pretty well on the grass.
I think it's just raising that standard up. So there's a lot more guys coming through now that are fitter, that are stronger. They're raising the standard, which they can see. They're taking it seriously. You know, this is not you. You know, I remember you were telling me back when you played, when you first started, it was a lot. Sopcam, a lot of them were. It wasn't very well conditioned. It wasn't really. You know, when you were a junior.
I mean, when I was a junior, so what was that? 13 years ago. It was more of a social thing, I guess. Like, in saying that, it wasn't all social. I mean, people took pride in what they were doing and stuff, but it wasn't at the elite level that it is today. So.
Explain to us about when you won Rio. You know, the gold medal. Obviously, I don't know if anyone's seen the video of me jumping around like a dickhead. If you can link it up, I'm sure you can find it, Alex. I was actually over at Heath's missus's house, and I was watching his final. He was in the doubles with his partner Dylan Alcott, and there's actually a video that I had. Meaty, his best mate, took a video of me when I was match point. If you want to chuck that up, it is a funny video. You can watch it. So let's talk about Rio and the experience you had over there, and winning the gold medal in the quads, in the wheelchair tennis, and the doubles.
I mean, Rio was awesome. For me, it was amazing because I actually got a really late call up. I only found out I was going 3 weeks before I had to get on the plane, so I didn't really have time to be nervous or anything. Found out, packed the bag, got fitted up for my kit, and off we went. And it was actually pretty good for me. There was no expectations on me, obviously, because I went over there when I was ranked 31 in the world, so I was actually really lucky to get a wild card. And the biggest, I set myself a few goals. One was to win a round of singles, which I did, which was pretty cool. I beat my first top 15 player in Rio, which was awesome. And then, obviously, me and my doubles partner Dylan Alcott, we had some success earlier in the year playing doubles throughout the year, and I guess we were a dark horse, but we believed that we were probably the favourites going into it, and we knew we could win it. And I guess lucky enough, the stars aligned, and we played the Americans in the final, who had never lost a match in 4 Paralympics.
4, Jesus. You were down and out though. You were down and out. I remember watching that whole game. It was like, oh, you're in a fair bit of trouble here, but you guys just grinded. And the Aussie spirit, that's what I think people related to your story, was you two just fucking grinded, and you could see they were starting. They didn't have the conditioning to go with you guys.
I mean, 5-1 down in the second set. I was looking at Dylan going, mate, we can have a beer in a minute. No, I mean, we just went back to basics and started playing the tennis that we knew how to play. And so Dylan relaxed a bit. Dylan was really nervous and really wanted it. And I guess us being so close and having the friendship we started giving each other a bit of stick, and it relaxed us a bit, and then we both started to play a little bit better. And
was it 3 sets, wasn't it? 3 sets?
Yeah, well, we lost the first set 6-4.
And the second set you were down 5-1.
5-1.
And then you came back to win at 7-5.
7-5.
And then you went to a tiebreaker.
No, then we were 3-love down in the third set.
So talk to us about your mental state. It's always interesting. At 5-1 down, what were you thinking? Like, fuck, we're fucked here.
You got nothing to lose, do you?
Just throw everything at it.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much it. It's like when you're in the match, your mind's thinking about, just make balls. When you're 5-1 down, the pressure sort of goes off.
You're like having a dip.
As I said, I looked at Dylan and said, mate, we can go to the pub and have a beer. And then, you just sort of relax and you just go for it. And then tennis is one of those sports. The more you go for it, the better you play. And it's when you try and be safe that things start to go wrong. And
you overthink it.
We won that second set, and me and Dylan are like, mate, we got this in the bag. And then we went down 3-love in the third set.
And then after 3-love, what did you say? You regrouped, said, let's keep having fun.
Yeah, well, pretty much we started having fun again, and I'd served like a dog's breakfast all day. Like, could not make a serve. And then at 5-all in the third set, I had a serve, and my service game, and Dylan's looked at me and gone, oh God, here we go. Come on, Heathy, just need you to make 4 good serves, mate. Doesn't matter if they're just lollipops, just get them in. And if you rewatch the video, and I actually did rewatch the video because I didn't believe it, I made 4 first serves, 2 unreturnables, and then Dylan hit 2 winners off the next 2. So it was a good service game. So
were you nervous at all?
Yeah, man, like real nervous. Real nervous.
Did you know at the time how many people were watching? Because we had, I can only imagine how many people in Australia were watching, but for all my guys, like all the guys who come here, they were watching, they were messaging me non-stop. Fuck, have you seen Heath? Fuck, they're in. Everyone, like, at Woodford was getting around. Like, I was getting messages non-stop. And obviously, because I was with your misso, Meaty, all your friends, it was like, the atmosphere there was up, down, up. Exactly what you said, it was real funny. 5-1 down, we were talking, I'm going home. Because I was pretty, like, I was devastated because I thought, fuck, he could win it here. And I remember Das was like, oh, well, we all, Darcy can be a bit negative. We're all done. Man, 5-1 down. And then I'm like, they kept coming. Should have seen the
Hey, how's your form just ripping on the miss?
No, I love Das. But the thing was, the room there, like, he's got to realise there was about 7 of us, right? And I'm thinking, I came from work to go, because Das basically said, come over with Meaty. So I'm sitting there, and the mood was real shit when I got there. You guys were playing dog shit. Like, literally dog shit.
It wasn't good.
I remember this clearly. I'm thinking, I'm sitting there going, this is not good. I'm thinking, shit, I'm going back to work. And then I said, nah, I'll stay one more game. And I remember saying that in my head, I'll stay one more game. And I ended up staying there for another hour and a bit.
Mate, we won 6 games on the trot.
It was like this, bro. It was like this, up and down.
Out.
And then when you won, the emotion of the room, I can only imagine in Rio, was just unbelievable. Like, just to see, like, to know. I remember when you first came down to Woodford and you said to me, I want to win a gold medal at the Paralympics. That's my goal. I want to go back to tennis. To think of our journey, your journey, and what you've achieved and how you've developed. I remember when you first came in here and we first met. It was incredible.
Too, mate. We were sitting here.
Yeah, exactly. Sitting right here.
You were saying, like, because you're a big dog and all, and the wood, you're like, yeah, I'll take a chance on this bloke. I'll give you one chance.
I did say that. I said, I'll give you one chance. We'll see how we go. But to think of the story, it was incredible. Like, for anyone watching this, it's an incredible story for anyone who has a dream and really just throws everything at it, works their arse off and to get there. And yeah, okay, it's in the doubles because you had a very good doubles partner who was number 1 in the world. But still, you still have to contribute. It's not like you rock up and you're shit. You know, you put in the work. It's incredible to see, and it's to see your career just keep going. I mean, how did you feel when you're on the court? How much does physical preparation help in terms of when you're deep in that third set? You know, you look fine.
Well, that's the thing, mate, because I train here so much and stuff like that, I know my gas tank will outlast anybody else in my division. So yeah. I don't have the stress of worrying about getting fatigued or anything on court. I know I can keep going. I know I can play for 5.5 hours if I have to. Yeah. So, and that's pretty much all based on all the prep work that I do here, all the off-season stuff that I do, even though I don't really have an off-season. But and one of the big things with you is you just keep it fairly simple. With me. You know what I mean?
The basics, everyone, my big 6. We'll talk about this in a sec with what we do, but he brings up a fair point. People always ask me what I do with him. Just keep it simplistic. We do a volume block, we do intensification, we do a strength block, we do some explosive work. He does some rotator cuff work because we want to make sure his shoulder health is critical for him because he's always hitting balls. I'll make sure we manage how much he hits because he's got a real good coach as well. Because a lot of tennis players get tennis elbow because of overuse. So he's been pretty good. You've never had that, have you?
The only injury I've ever had...
Touch wood.
The only injury I've ever had in my pretty much whole tennis career was I was chasing a ball down and hit the fence and tore one of my intercostals. But other than that...
Was that it?
Yeah, other than that, my arms have...
held up quite well. Which is
literally... But can you remember when I first came in here, mate? I looked like the hunchback of Notre Dame because of all the wheelchair.
Yeah,
pushing I did.
Yeah, because you're like round a lot. Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. It's interesting. People say, you know, the biggest number 1 focus we have as a performance coach, which a lot of people don't understand, is injury reduction. If you can't keep them, in terms of healthy, they can't play their sport. Okay, if they can't play a sport, they're not going to get any better. So the number 1 focus on every program we do here is injury reduction. So you can keep them injury free, they're healthy, they're playing their sport, they're improving their sport specific conditioning while playing their sport, they're getting better. And that's the number 1 focus. So the fact that you haven't been injured, you're healthy through the shoulders, that's why you keep getting better, because you can hit more balls, hit better balls with quality, you can go around, do your tournaments, and you can keep getting better. It's been a slow incline, but you keep doing, which is great. Questions?
Yeah. Matt Rayner.
Hello, Matt.
What is your ratio of push to pull upper body exercises for a tennis player, and how does this compare to athletes of other sports?
I mean, for me, as I said, we just keep it basic. So we do a couple of sessions a week. One session during the week we do vertical push-pull. The other session we do horizontal push-pull. And we just mix it up with some band work and some conditioning at the end. And Christian can finish this with...
Yeah, what we do with him... this is an interesting question. Push-pull's the same for every athlete. For him, I just need to keep his shoulders stable. I need to keep his shoulders healthy. He's a tennis player. If he fucks his shoulders, he's in a fair bit of trouble. Also, Heath has wrist problems. Can you show?
Yeah, see, like I can't move my wrist on my right hand, so that's pretty bad.
Just how you got with your wrist? Oh, I'll give you something though. He can, the way he moves stuff. His wrist is locked. I'm being serious. He's got the weirdest wrist. I don't know. Have you had them for your whole life?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a bit spastic when it comes down to it. Like, I can't touch my shoulders or anything like that.
But look at his arms. Look at the pipes. The big pipe. There's a photo going around, Heath, I'll find it for you guys. He was at the Olympics, and I got this message from some random dude. This is no shit. And he's in the Olympics. It was hot in Rio, yeah? And this dude took the best photo of you I've ever seen. I'm going to find it, bro. I've never sent it to you because I forgot. And the dude wrote as a caption. He was over in Rio, photographer. This guy's got muscles on muscles. And it's a shot of Heath with his arms. And he looks so shredded. You can see actually all his serrations to his muscles. I've got to find it for you, bro. It looks so good. But if you look at Heath, Heath's actually a real lean guy naturally. And he's one of the guys, if you actually look at the quads, most of the quads players aren't really the best conditioned guys. Not the Australian blokes. Everyone kind of other countries on the tour, where Heath is quite very lean, and you can see he works very hard with the conditioning he does here and with his coach as well. And it shows in his performance as well. Very lean man. But in terms of the push-pull, I'm a 1-to-1 guy ratio. Whatever you push, you need to pull. That goes for horizontal and vertical. Okay, bear in mind it's very important. We need structural stability through the scap. Okay, scapula needs stability, okay? And we need, for the shoulder, you need mobility. So we do a bit of mobility work. We do a lot of activation work of the upper back to stabilise him. And I want you to think, remember, the rotator cuffs. You've got 4 rotator cuffs, starting from largest to smallest would be subscap, super, infra, teres minor. And what the rotator cuffs do, they actually articulate the head of the humerus inside the fossa of the. And I'm not even I'm the king of this. You know, you look at a guy like Eric Cressy, and he's the king of shoulders. But if you look at the glenohumeral joint, which is the shoulder joint in general, you want stability through there in terms of the scapula. So those rotator cuffs articulate the head of the humerus inside the fossa. And then you've got anterior, medial, posterior delt. Okay, and then we're looking for that real stability, but also we need that mobility, because the shoulder joint has heaps of range of motion, okay, and he needs it to be a tennis player. So you just got to make sure you hit that 1-to-1 ratio. If they need more work, in case, I used to do a 2-to-1 with him because he was so rounded. Sometimes you might need to do that. You need to, once again, it's an open-ended question. It depends. Context. I used to be a guy when I was 25 to say, fuck, this is the only way of doing things. And then you kind of put my head out my ass and said, well, there's more. I use this one all the time, Alex. There's more than one way to skin a cat, and many roads lead to Rome. Context is everything. Next question. Thank you.
Kate Mild.
Yes.
Hi Heath, the games I've seen you play have often gone for a very long time. You are tenacious. How much time do you spend in the gym and working on your endurance?
So in the gym, I'm here for a couple of hours a week. That is at Woodfords, and then I do. So my weekly schedule for tennis is I do 2 tennis sessions on Monday for 2 hours each session. 2-hour session Tuesdays, 1-hour gym session with the great man Christian. Wednesdays, 2 tennis sessions, see the physio, do my sports psych. Thursdays, 2-hour tennis, 1-hour gym. Fridays, double tennis session with my coach. And then Saturdays, if I'm not knackered for the week, I do another gym session by myself. And we do a lot of mobility training and stuff down at TA just to keep fit and work on conditioning. So a fair bit of training goes into it.
Yes, what? Yes, what?
Just wanted to see if you want to touch on that. You don't have
He
to.
said it all.
Said it all.
He said it all.
Michaela Dingley.
Oh, Michaela.
How are we?
Lovely name, Michaela. I actually like the name Michaela. If I had a girl, child, a girl, I need to find someone to procreate with first, but I'll call her Michaela. I'm being serious. I'll call her Michaela. Michaela's a nice name. Hello, Michaela.
All right, I've just started up with the program in Canberra and would like to give it a good crack. I'm curious as to what an average training week would be.
He's just explained that.
And what a gym session.
Well, he's just explained that, Alex.
Now, what a gym session would be.
Yes.
In tennis, specific training.
Yeah. Okay, he explained Michaela, he explained the first part. So he's kind of answered two questions there. I'll explain, and the second question was, what would a tennis-specific program be? Michaela, she's a wheelchair tennis player. Oh, sweet. She is. That's cool. Yeah, she's a wheelchair tennis player. Okay, I'm curious to what... Yeah, okay, yeah. Okay, so that's cool. All right, so you got to remember, the only true way of sport-specific training is the skill itself in terms of the specific muscle group, movement pattern, metabolic pathway, timing coordination. The only true way is actually playing your sport. There's nothing we can give in the gym that's true sport specific. Yes, there are exercises that's going to have more transference than others, e.g. A bench press or a horizontal pull is going to have more transference than a bicep curl or a tricep extension, if you know what I mean. But everything we do in the gym is a form of GPP. And the only true way of sport-specific training is the skill itself. So pretty much if you look at just a general, I'm real big on nailing the basics, mastering the fundamental movements, keeping it simple, and that's what works. I know that because success leaves clues, and for my career over 10 years, that's all I've done, and it works well as long as you understand that you choose an exercise based on your athlete's requirements. So example would be, if an athlete has some sort of shoulder pathology, and they can't full range bench, you might choose something like a floor press or like a 2-board, 3-board press, and you're minimising the range of motion, but you're still getting some sort of stimulus to the upper body. For Heath, I just, because he can't use his legs, obviously, I might even do a program with Heath we call it the Big Four. It'd be funny, actually, that'd be all right. But for any disabled athlete, no, it's true, Big Four. It's the Big Six, you can't do the last two, the Big Four. Mate, it actually, you know what? It'd actually be good to sell. So, because a lot of this...
train more, disabled athletes, that'd be something you could do.
Yeah, but that's maybe for the disabled athlete, they can't. It'd be sweet, they could get something they could see to do, which I could explain to them, just for them. And instead, I can elaborate on those 4 movements to give them more modifications, which would be pretty cool and variants. Maybe I could do that. Thank you, Michaela, you've given me a good idea. So if you look at Heath, what I do with him, I do the Big Four. I just made this one up. But it's 4 movements out of my Big Six. Horizontal push, as he said, horizontal pull, vertical push, vertical pull. What I do at the start of the session, as he says, we do, session 1 will be a horizontal push-pull as our main strength movements, but we always do an explosive movement first. So he does, right now he's doing a roll to throw, so we always want to do, if you look at my 8 areas of programming, explosive, lower body pull, vertical push, vertical pull, horizontal push, horizontal pull, and core. With Heath, what I do, you always do explosive work first. So for him, with explosive work, you always want to choose exercise to project in a free space. The reason why is because a normal strength training exercise, you get deceleration at end range of motion. So let's look at a bench press, for example. You're pretty much decelerating pretty much at the start. So you're pretty much getting antagonist co-activation. So the rhomboids are slowing down the movement. Now we can minimize that by throwing the barbell, right? And getting someone to catch it, because then we're projecting a free space, therefore maximizing power output. So what I do with Heath is he does the first explosive movement, we call it, is a roll to throw. So he rolls a meter, then he throws a med ball, okay? And you can see there he's projecting the free space, and we're developing general horizontal explosive power. The second session, what we do is, at the moment, it might be, we've done it before, it might be an overhead throw, it might be what I call it is like not a keg toss, it's, what do I call that one?
Do you go to the side?
Yeah, but it's called, shit, I forgot the name.
Just describe it.
Well, he gets it and he throws to the side, both sides like that. But because he's got no core control, it's actually quite hard. But it's not bad because you're still developing some sort of rotational power as well. So I'm looking for that. So sometimes it might be an overhead throw, scoop toss, rotational scoop toss, forward. There's with power work, so with any med ball work, you can kind of use your imaginations. Where the strength work is more kind of set in stone, where you've got 6 movements and you choose the variance, the modification that works for your athlete. With explosive work, it's kind of up to your imagination, especially with med ball work for Heath. It's up to your imagination. For the non-disabled athlete, you can kind of, with med ball work, once again, it's the same, but you can kind of use, because you can use your legs a little bit different, you can vary it once again, you can modify. But for Heath, what I do with him is a lot of med ball work, because it's real good, because he can, even though he can't use his trunk, his core, he can still do some rotational stuff. I'll hold him and he does some rotational stuff. So session 1, horizontal push-pull, explosive work first, then we do conditioning. Session 2, explosive work again, but it's variant. I can do overhead throws, I can do side throws, depending what I want to do. Then I do a vertical push-pull in his strength movement. It might be a barbell or a dumbbell, depending what I want to use. Then he does conditioning work at the end. So that's what a kind of a general session looks like. All I try and do is I layer it. So what I mean by layering is, it's very hard because he's always overseas. Like literally he's overseas like fucking 6 months of the year. Maybe 4.
I've been away for between 18 and 22 weeks this year.
So what, 6 months?
Yeah.
So 6 months of the year he's away. So it's fucking hard. So it's very hard to get continuity when he's away, because he needs to play tournaments to get ranking points. That's what his sport is. So people ask me what I do is you keep it simple as possible. When he comes back, you don't go too heavy. You work, because he's detrained slightly. You work with what he got. I would rather him work on his bar speed than his load. So what I say to him is, let's work on quality, let's work on bar speed, and then we work in between our accumulation, our volume blocks, and then we say, before he leaves, I do a strength block. Okay, so what I do is I do that. When I say a strength block, for everyone out there, an intensification block, heavy load, low reps, we know strength will maximize power, and we know he needs to maintain strength because it facilitates everything. So I really do a strength block really to stimulate his nervous system, to really get that strength stimulus before he leaves, so he's actually got some sort of upper body strength. Okay, it's critical for him, and then when he comes back, we work volume block, and then just before he leaves, I do another strength block, just to maintain it, because we know for a fact strength facilitates everything. Power, speed, and especially with his strength through his with his tennis chair, I really feel like as I do a strength block, it really transfers to his speed on the chair. I really think it's very important to maintain his strength, because once you drop it, you detrain, everything drops. All the other KPIs I look at drop as well. We actually do tests before he leaves. I do a few tests. We do some speed work with him, and the best way you can do speed work, he gets in his tennis chair. We might do 5-10 meter sprints, 2 to 3 minutes, go again, and he's giving maximal efforts. Okay, the only way to get quicker is to train quick. Okay, it's not like he can run. The most specific way of him getting quicker is going in his fucking tennis chair. That's the best way you can get quicker. And his coach does some real good conditioning work on the court, really good stuff, because it's very specific. And the best way you're going to get better, he's going to get better in terms of his tennis specific work, is by being on the court and playing tennis, because that's going to develop the specific muscular, motor pattern, metabolic pathway. You see what I'm saying? Have I gone a long answer on that? That's very detailed. No, but I want people to understand that, like, it's his way, like, I've never trained a disabled athlete before, never. And this has been the best experience of my life, and like, it's been very humbling for me. I've learned a lot.
You just like picking me up, put me on a lead.
It's fucking funny, man. Yeah, it's awesome. I love it. But no, I'll be honest with you. I want to do stuff with Heath later down the track, where, we talked about doing like something for the disabled athletes, because there's nothing out there for them, and he'd be a good ambassador. We talked about this before, like him he's a good ambassador for. I want him to help more kids, and I think I can do that with getting them healthy, getting them fit, but understanding strength and conditioning for the disabled athlete. I want to give them something special, because for them, there's really nothing. There's no resource out there, so I want to do something with him. And thanks, the question Michaela asked has kind of opened my mind up, because she's saying, shit, what do I do? Like, I don't know what I can do. And I've had messages from mothers who have said Heath and I've inspired them to go out and train, which is fucking awesome. So if you are a disabled athlete and you want to get into tennis or in any sport, there's so many sports out there for wheelchairs, like basketball, tennis, rugby, I've seen it all. If you are an athlete like that, message the page, because I'd love to hear more, because if any way we can help, with helping with your training, and Heath can be a good example, and Heath will be our poster boy of it and help me out. And he's actually good at talking, because he talks a lot of shit, and so do I. We do well together. But if we could make a resource, and Campbell Somerville, who trains with Heath, has just walked in. Hello, Campbell. Two elite athletes here.
So what's happening?
Campbell and Heath will be trained at the same time. So as everyone knows, Campbell's he's going to be in Woodford soon. He's an Olympic level athlete, so is Heath as well. So Campbell's going to qualify for his first Commonwealth Games. How long?
Trials are next week in Sydney.
Excited?
Yeah.
Yep.
Can't wait.
Yep.
Can't wait.
So, yes.
I just got to, if you want to finish, I just have a question to finish off for Heath.
Yeah, just quickly before, what was I saying? I've just a little bit. So if you're a disabled athlete and you're in a wheelchair, there's no reason why you can't, like, look at Heath, what a fucking story. So, but I want to help you guys out. So if you guys want any resources, training, I really think a Big Four would be sweet for them. Like, there's nothing out there for, like, Heath, like, there's nothing. So, man, I want to help you guys. I think it's awesome. I want to get involved, and Heath can help me as well by putting his ugly mug and coming with me as well, because Heath's a good inspiration. So if you guys, if there's anyone out there who want more resource on this, tell me, and we will put it out. And any way I can help, I'll do it. So I think that training, it is a bit different though. Like, I've never done it before. Now I've been doing it for 2 years. It's a laugh for me. I have a good fun with Heath. I just love picking him up. Like, that's funny as. But I love training Heath. I think it's great, and it's a real eye opener for me. So if you want some help on that, please message a page, because we can put some good resources out there. I think now I would love to release an ebook with myself and Heath talking about specific, because there's some specific stuff you got to do with them in terms of training and stuff that we can release, maybe like a Big Four, that how you modify an exercise for someone like Heath. Okay, what's your question for him?
My question is probably something you haven't talked about too often, but we see technology advancing at an incredible rate. Do you think in your lifetime you'll be able to walk again, and how do you ever think about that? Do you ever think about playing sport without that?
Nah, not really, mate. I mean, I've grown up in a wheelchair. I guess being a teenager, I did have that moment of why me sort of thing, but I got over that pretty quickly and really sucked it up and got on with life, because I mean, to be honest with you, my life's pretty good. I get to travel the world hitting tennis balls. I get the best car parks going around. And, seriously, that's the best part about being in a wheelchair. You get good bloody car parks. And yeah, it's opened. I mean, I've got a lot of mates that play sport and stuff, and me being in a wheelchair has given me the opportunity to represent my country, to go to a Paralympics and stuff like that. I mean, Campbell's probably going to get to experience that stuff in the next couple of years as well, going to the Olympics. And
imagine you two together at the same joint. God damn it.
Lock up the village.
Imagine you two in the same village. Oh, mate. I would come just to hear the stories. Jesus Christ. Oh, God.
Go ahead.
I mean, technology and stuff, it is getting fairly advanced, and obviously if you do watch the Paralympics and you see all the advancements in like the amputees and the running and just the wheelchairs getting better and stuff like that. But I mean, I guess I've never really thought about it. I can't sit here and say that if one day they said that I'd be able to walk and play tennis walking, that I wouldn't do it, because I mean, look, I'd love to be able to stand up, walk around, jump in the car, go for a run, stuff like that, but
no,
it doesn't matter.
I wouldn't want you to do it, man. I think you're fucking awesome the way you are, bro.
I'm me, and
I love you the way you are, bro. Hey,
I wouldn't change anything. So
you know one thing I would change. You know what's funny, guys? For everyone out there, he can't walk, can't use his legs. He's still got bigger calves than me.
I actually really wanted to bring that up.
I knew he was going to bring it up.
I knew he was going to bring it up.
So you know what? I brought up first. I knew you were going to fucking say that.
Hashtag Heath has bigger calves than Christian. Yeah, get on it. The social media pages,
yeah, and give
it
SSC,
and just like absolutely give him stick about it, because I've been giving him stick about it for 2 years, and I think it's really funny.
Before I finish this Ask Woodford episode, thanks arsehole, I just want to thank Heath for the journey that we have had so far. He's been a terrific support of Woodford, terrific support of me. I'll be honest with you, he puts life into perspective for me. He did 2 years ago, and he keeps doing it every day. Am I not saying I get like frustrated with him? Yes, he's a frustrating guy, but I imagine working with me, like I'm fucking frustrating 24/7. But he's a great man. I love him to death. I think he's fantastic, and I follow him to death. You know, I'm going to go to the next Olympics. I want to go with him because I've got a few of them going. So I've already fucking booked my flight 2020 to Tokyo. Is it Tokyo?
It is Tokyo.
I just want to go.
You've already booked your flight, but you don't even know where it is.
I wouldn't book my flight. I'm just taking the piss out of it. But I think it's fantastic. What he's doing. I think he's a great role model. I'll be honest with you, he's a fantastic role model for any kid out there who is disabled to see what he said. Fuck it, who cares? This is my life. I love it. Be proud of who you are, guys. And just there's so many opportunities for you. Look at as he said, he's representing Australia, and he's hitting tennis balls for a fucking life. You know, this is his job. How can just enjoy it, you know. And if you ever want to look at someone for inspiration, Heath is your guy. And he's a fantastic role model, fantastic person, more importantly, and he's a great ambassador for anyone disabled, but also for strength and conditioning in Australia and what I'm trying to achieve. So thank you very much, Heath. I'm so proud to be a part of your journey. I'm proud to be your performance coach. I'm proud to be your performance coach. And I love you to death. So I'll wrap that up before I start crying. I'm getting a bit emotional. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you for watching episode 19. Episode 20, we'll get Campbell Somerville on, which should be an absolute banger. If you have any more questions for Heath, ask away. I'm sure he'll answer them. Maybe we can put on the page or something can answer them. Yeah. As always, I want to thank LP Support, macironfitness.com.au. I want to thank Alex Sandelis, my QB, and I want to thank you guys watching Ask Woodford because you make this show great. Thank you for watching. Episode 19, Heath Davidson. Thank you very much, guys, and I will see you for episode 20 next week.
Peace out, dudes.
What an episode.